Well, good morning folks, welcome to another video, an actual LUMIX Wednesday video this time. I know I'm making quite a lot of them at the moment, but like I say, I'm sort of just making sure I'm homing in the skills with the LUMIX camera really, and you know, getting that sort of muscle memory for the back of the camera and everything spot on for when I go to New York, which is only in a couple of weeks time, and I literally cannot wait. Now, this morning, it's a bit opportunist, and I am absolutely kicking myself that I didn't bring my 4x5 out this morning. But if I'm honest with you, I think the last few weeks now, I've just been sort of struggling motivation wise at the moment. I'm just going through that little bit of a rut that we all go through as photographers, where you've sort of shot loads and loads and loads, and you sort of thinking there's nothing more to shoot, and then of course you come out just driving to work on a normal morning like this, and you come across this scene here, which is absolutely stunning, which I hope you would agree. This is quite a classic shot from this area. I've been here before, looked quite a few times before, but I'm at Pretty Pools, and this actually in the summer was completely dry when I drove past here. Now obviously this is quite an easy one what I'm going for here. I'm loving these reeds, this new growth of reeds that are sort of sprouting up from the water, and the fact that it's calm and we've got this lovely reflection, and then of course the mist, which is just beautiful. I'm not going to get long with this mist. As soon as this sun pops up, it's going to burn this off quite quickly, and I could just about see it sort of coming over the horizon, so I'm going to get on and set this up. I've gone quite low with the tripod today, or sort of at this level, but I'm hoping the camera picks it up here, but you could just see the reflection of the sort of tree canopy between the reeds there, and that's what I'm hoping to capture, as well as getting low enough to do this, sort of get these reeds. Now I'm probably going to have to do a multiple exposure here, one on the reeds, one on the sort of mid ground, and the other one in the tree in the background. The tree in the background isn't hugely important in terms of if it's not quite tack sharp, it's not going to make too much of a difference, not in my mind anyway, just simply because you've got this mist, and this mist is going to you know, it's just going to affect that slightly anyway. So I'm not too fussed if the tree isn't absolutely tack sharp, but I will take 3 images here and sort of blend them together later. But I'm going to get on and set this up now, because as you can see, it's sort of, well, since I've been here, the mist is dropping by the minute really, so I need to get on and set this up now. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so as you can see here, I've sort of gone for a portrait shot here, and what I'm doing is I'm just focusing in on the reeds on the bottom. I've gone with ISO 200 f11, and as I mentioned in a previous video, you can see the frustration I'm having here with just simply the fact that I cannot get the screen to automatically rotate. It's on auto rotate. I've turned it off and turned it back on again. I've updated to the latest firmware. I've done everything that I think possible to get this to rotate, and it will not do it. It used to do it, it doesn't do it anymore, and it is hugely frustrating. But anyway, so we are going to have to look at this upside down together. In fact, actually, if I just flip this round the other way, let's go the right way with this and do that a bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see that a bit better. Now it's the right way up. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing down here. I'm just using autofocus for this. I've got a 2-second timer on, and I'm just taking the shot, and then I'm bringing this up and just focusing it on the tree in the middle, and then I'm just bringing this up to the tree, the actual tree, and then what I do is I just stick my hand in the way of it. I know that's probably a bit old school, but that's what I do, just to sort of say that's the end of those 3 exposures that I need to blend together to get focus right. So yeah, I'm just loving this scene. It's absolutely beautiful. So as you can see now, the light is absolutely kicking off. You can see the pink in the cloud there, which is absolutely beautiful, and of course it's reflecting then into the water. Absolutely stunning, and definitely the best locations, probably maybe on par with the best location or the best conditions I've had here since I've been shooting up here, which, like I say, is, I've probably been up here about 20 times, something like that, and these are definitely the best conditions. They've just been impromptu really, just again driving past, I saw the mist from the roadside, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to stop and just see what I can get here. But I'm so glad I did, because this is just absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I might move round the corner there because I did come up here with my 645 about a year ago now, and I went into that corner there. This is when this lake was completely frozen over, and I got some what I thought were good shots there. I could have done better on the day. I'll put a couple of them up now so you can see. They were taken on, I think, Portrait 400, I think. I'll have to go back and look back through my my library, but yeah, I got them from around that corner there with some nice interesting patterns in the lake there. So yeah, but this is beautiful. The other thing I'm loving about this as well, it's just these spiders webs. Obviously it's the season now for spiders, and there's loads of them about, especially in your house, which is always a good time for my other half, who's absolutely scared of spiders. But yeah, I'm just loving these spider webs that's sort of on these reeds and everything in the foreground here. Just a shame that I can't get in the water. I could get in the water, but I don't really want to. And just sort of get a bit lower and get maybe some of these cobwebs a bit more prominent in the sort of foreground would be nice, because it just adds to this time of year and tells a story about this time of year really. So that would be a nicer thing. Maybe if I moved around the corner there, because I know that I can get right sort of water side and a lot lower, then perhaps I'll be able to get some spider webs in the frame. So I'm going to take a couple more shots here now that this sort of is sort of just lighting up nicely in the sky, and then I'll probably move around the corner there just to see what's there, if anything. So yeah, I'm going to get on and take a couple more shots. Now, like I said a minute ago, just in a bit of a rut really, photography wise. Mainly, well, with all of photography, I am enjoying my LUMIX at the moment, and I think it's the fact that I can just come out and take a load of shots, and if they're rubbish, I'm not really bothered, because I can just delete them and not even think about them again. Of course, when you're taking a film shot, it costs money, and you know, when you're quite, well, this is a personal thing, but when you're sort of in that zone of not really feeling it, it makes it a bit more difficult for me personally to get out and shoot, because I'm sort of thinking I don't want to waste £8 on pressing the shutter just for a rubbish shot that I'm going to take, and it's that thing that just goes round and round in your head. And I swear that like 99% of people, photographers, will go through the same sort of rut and the same cycle. I certainly see a lot of people on Instagram, you know, people that are a hell of a lot better photographers than me on Instagram, sort of chatting about the same thing really, just going through this sort of cycle of rut. And then of course now I'm kicking myself, because I should have just had my 4x5 in the bag, because if I'd have had my 4x5 in the car with me, I would have definitely brought this down here and taken this, and this shot would have probably have lifted me out of that sort of rut, because it is so beautiful. And I think it's definitely going to. It certainly made me sit here and think, do you know what, tonight I'm going to get back home and I'm going to load all of the rest of my portrait into my film holders, and I'm literally going to put the 4x5 in the car with me every time I leave the house, so that I've got it with me, so that I can just think while I'm driving along, do you know what, I'll just stop here and see what it's like, and then, you know, I'll get this sort of thing going on here, which is just, it's just beautiful. And it's just a frustration now that I haven't got my 4x5 with me, but it doesn't matter. I've still got my LUMIX. I'm still capturing, you know, capturing the image, which is important, but I would have preferred to have definitely had it with my 4x5, and it definitely would have given me that kick up the arse that I need to sort of, you know, spring myself back into sort of being back in love with it all again. And I'm not saying, yeah, that's probably a bit too hard, bit too strong of a word to say I've fallen out of love. I haven't, just in a bit of a rut with it creatively. And I think some of it might be the actual New York trip, because I'm so focused on that, and I'm probably building myself up to fail on that, because I'm literally just going, I want to photograph everything. I've got loads of rolls of film for my best friend in the freezer, and I've taken my LUMIX. I literally want to go back with cards full of images. I literally want to shoot everything that moves in New York, and just capture everything that I possibly can do. So I think that I'd probably, you know, that focus on that is probably what's affecting my photography at the moment also. But this scene is just absolutely stunning, and like I said, the mist is sort of dissipating quite quickly now, and I might just need to move on. I was sort of just sitting in this same location just because I'm waiting for that sun just to peak, just to hit the tree there and give me just some light on that tree, but I am losing the mist as well, which is a little bit frustrating. So I might move around, don't know yet, but I will take a few more images here just as the light is just gradually changing. Again, what I'd recommend is if you are shooting digital, which is, you know, perfectly fine, I do it a lot, it's just, you know, just slow down. You don't need to sit here and ride the shutter and go home with 300 photos, because you will just have a miserable time going through said 300 photos to come up with one or two that you're sort of going to share or whatever, print out. So it just, the conditions are changing, but they're not changing dramatically enough to go home with 300 photos. So yeah, that's all I'd say when you're shooting digital. And again, it just comes back to what I've said before about shooting film, is it is one definite, well, there's lots of good things about shooting film, but one of the main reasons why I shoot film is just the slow pace of it, and the fact that you know, especially if you shoot 4x5, you're going to go home with probably 8 images, maybe 10, and that's your lot for the day. If you're shooting 35mm, you might go home with 24, 27, 36 images. Could have shot 2 rolls. You know, you're not going to go home with 300 images, let's put it that way. So you've got to be a bit more careful, a bit more selective about what you shoot, and I think that aids to the, you know, makes it more enjoyable, because you are thinking more about what you're shooting. You're taking your time because you know you've got a limited number of shots, and the shots that you do take, and then when you get them home, because they're a lot more thought out, generally I think that they are creatively a lot better than what I take with my LUMIX, or what I used to take with my digital camera when I just used to go in with cards full of images. And I know I've just said about New York, but I just know I'm not going to be able to get back to New York to take some more images, so that's why I'm going to take so many. But a location like this, I'm not going to go home with a card full of images, because it's just a waste of time. And it's taken me a long time, many years, to understand that. But that is definitely, for me, it's been the key to refinding my enjoyment with photography. It's just slowing down and taking less images. So yeah. Do I move around, or do I stay and wait for this light to hit the tree? Difficult. Oh, there's a duck. There's a duck now, look. He's there. If he could just wander into my frame. I think he's too small anyway, and I don't have the right lens on to sort of, you know, he's going to get lost in his reeds, I think. But maybe if I put the longer lens on, he might come out. But yeah, he's just moving across my frame now. Don't know if you can see him in the background there, but yeah. This is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And look at that sky, look at the colour in it. Oh my God, it's just beautiful. Oh, it's worth getting out of bed for. It's worth getting out of bed for. Right, I'm going to get on and take a couple more shots. Okay, so I've just repositioned slightly. I've made myself a little bit lower, and what it is I don't know if you can see just in the foreground here, there is some spiders' webs there, and I'm hoping just to bring them out a bit more, make them a bit more sort of prominent in the scene. So just moving back to the camera, what I've done is they're sort of here. So again, I'm just sort of taking a 3 shots, which I'm going to stitch together to get front to back sharpness. I could probably just get away with 1 exposure when I was a bit higher, just looking. I think the middle ground at f11 was giving me enough sort of front to back, so I may only need 1 shot with these. But I think with these ones here, where I'm a little bit lower and I'm zoomed in a bit more, I'm just going to need that. What am I at the moment? About 58mm or something like that. I think I'm going to need that stitch to make sure they're together. I did put my hand in the way of the shot there to indicate my last shot. There we go. Okay, so the light is just about hitting the tree now. It's only a very subtle light, I think there must be maybe a cloud on the horizon or something, because it's brighter up there, and it is in the lower part of this sort of valley now, and I can see it on the trees just over here, and it is sort of casting onto the top of that now, but it is a very sort of light, subtle light. So I'm going to sort of shoot this and make this my last couple of frames from this morning. Again, I'm just doing the same thing again, where I am taking 3 shots in different focus areas, and then I'm just going to blend them together in Lightroom later. I've actually gone down to f6.3 just to see if that gives me a little bit more sharpness over f11, and then I think I'll take a few at f11 and just see what the difference is really. I don't think there's going to be a massive amount, to be honest. But yeah, I am liking the way that the tree is, it's not sort of a real strong light, it's just a nice subtle light. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, to be fair, but yeah, I just like the way that it's just a little bit illuminated. It's not in your face. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying that sort of light. Right, let's go up to f11. Let me just put my hand in front of it again. I know there's a couple of times today where I haven't done that. Go up to f11. Start again, down on my couple of cobwebs in the foreground. Although, like I say, the cobwebs, I think I'm going to get lost a little bit in it, just because I've gone so wide. But like I say, I'd like to get closer to them, but I just can't, unfortunately. So yeah, and I'm definitely losing that mist now. So this, I think, is going to be my last shot. One of the hand again. That's it, done. So, nice simple video this morning. Impromptu, which is always my favourite. And yeah, massively enjoyable. Really lifted my spirits, kick up the ass I needed. Definitely going to go home later and load that portrait into my film holders and make sure that I got the 4x5 in the car with me, especially now we're getting into autumn. It's colder at night, still warm during the day, creates this mist, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and yeah, I hope you well, if you have enjoyed it, please leave a like. It means a massive amount to me, and yeah, subscription to the channel means the world. Please leave a comment below. Always like to read them, and I always get back to people, and I do apologise if it does take me some time to do so. I am a nightmare, and I know I'm a nightmare with replying back to people, so I do apologise for that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, so have a good one.